Go live. Okay. It says we're live.
On this week's SOD, Microsoft demands the impossible from Xbox, Valve crashes the Counter-Strike marketplace, and we find out that most games on Steam make less than $100. Later, I give kudos to Salad.
Wait,
Then we
wait. Did you just say you're giving kudos to salad?
yeah.
Like a particular salad that was really good or something?
No.
Okay, so you're just giving kudos to like the concept of salad. Giving kudos to the idea of salad.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
Why? That is so weird.
Dude, you'll just have to wait till the kudos segment.
No, I need to know now.
You've just logged into
Nope.
the 3-bit.
No.
You've just logged into the
No.
3-bit
Salad.
The 3-bit Game Show. Welcome to the 3-bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And let that those crunchy vegetables rain.
I
We're
am
talking
curious
about
now.
Salad.
He like wrote
this
this
week.
intro, and I'm like, no, but for real though, like, how are you giving kudos to just salad? Like, either this is going to be fascinating or the lamest kudos that's ever existed.
Yeah,
Like,
it's really easy to write for Peterson because I always almost know exactly what he's going to say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Live from the 3-bit Gamer Show. The news. All right. Well, guess what?
What?
The news this week is brought to us by Crave Cookies.
Crave!
You already know it. You already know the skinny because you listened last week. You guys are loyal listeners. You listen each and every week. You download the podcast on Tuesday morning, and you've consumed the whole thing before noon on Tuesday.
Just
Good
like
fans.
a Crave cookie.
Just like a Crave cookie. All four.
You consume the whole thing.
All four. All four down the hatch.
Before noon.
Before noon. That's how I start my day. It's a breakfast of champions.
You need to take a nap at 2 because your body's pissed.
And then you need to spend an hour on the toilet at 3. Crave Cookies is a cookie shop. You go to cravecookies.com and see the menu. It's a bi-weekly menu. It changes. We already told you what's coming up for this next menu that begins on Halloween. But I'm going to tell it to you anyway. One more time, just so you guys get it down. Pat. We got Pumpkin S'moreo. The Salted Caramel Reese's.
Yep.
Biscoff Explosion. Regular Brookie. And the Cider Mill Donut.
That's the one I want.
That's
the
a
one
good
I
fucking
want.
menu, you guys. And the Cider Mill Donut slaps.
I always want like the new one. If there's one I don't know, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's why I got to go in.
It's always my priority. Yep. So go to cravecookies.com, get Crave Cookies, the app, or go to a Crave Cookies store near you, which is more and more frequently becoming everywhere. And get your cookie on. Microsoft has given Xbox impossible goals in an effort to prove that they actually can get blood from a stone.
Oh, nice.
Like, no, we got this. We'll just keep telling you what to do. And then when you fail because you can't do it, we haven't gotten that far. And we don't think that's going to happen. You guys are just going to do what we tell you to do. Over the past 2 years, this is a story in Bloomberg brought to us from Jason Schreier. Microsoft executives have set an across-the-board goal of 30% profit margins.
That seems high.
It seems really fucking high. And they don't call them profit margins. In fact, they call them accountability margins.
Okay, dude, what are you kidding me? This feels like one of those video games where it's like you work for the company and they're like,
yes,
you know the company's evil, and that's like what they would call it.
Evil company video game. That's exactly what this vibes.
That's the vibe.
Dude, accountability margins instead of profit margins. It doesn't even make fucking sense.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't even make sense. That's such a weird
Googled,
choice.
What are the average profit margins for like video games?
Oh, it's in this article. What did you find?
Oh, this said the average is between 17 and 22%.
Yup. And guess what? Fucking Xbox has been coming in.
Oh yeah, it's right there.
Coming in between 10 and 20% for the
and
past
now they're saying
6 years.
30.
Now they're saying go ahead and double or triple that.
It's not going to happen.
Also cited in this article, court documents from 2023 showing that Microsoft's gaming business had a 12% profit margin for the first 9 months of 2022, the fiscal year 2022. So they go for anywhere, from 10 to 20%, generally on the low end of that. And Microsoft has come in, and this is coming from the new Microsoft CFO, and it was implemented in the fall of 2023. This is Amy Hood, who, if you Google Amy Hood, you might be startled. So make sure you're sitting down, because she's kind of got that crazy sociopath look where her smile doesn't get all the way up to her eyes. Lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When she lays you
some
off,
of these pictures, especially,
she don't seem to be living.
I don't know what that's from.
Jaws. You serious?
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen Jaws for a long time.
Fuck. Yeah, no, Amy Hood looks like the kind of lady that would say, you've got to make a 30% accountability margin again. And she'd say it with like a creepy smile on her face that doesn't get all the way up to her eyes. She kind of gives me Dolores Umbridge vibes.
Dolores?
What? How do you say that? Dolores Umbridge vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, she has like there's like one good picture of her in there that was like, oh, what are you talking about? And then I scrolled down, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she'd be like super friendly.
No,
yeah,
she shows up on Zoom calls,
this.
or I guess Teams calls, and tells you you're being laid off with a smile and a bunch
She's got
of,
that
like,
smile,
buzzwords.
like, yeah. Like that
Yeah.
smile.
Okay, so you guys missed your accountability margins this year. How do you think we're going to get those back up? She uses the royal we.
Accountability margins?
Accountability margins. I
hate
can't shake that. How fucking
And
terrible
30% is bananas.
Yeah,
like they're setting themselves up for failure, which
Exactly.
makes me think that this is just a ploy for them to justify layoffs in the
cutting
future.
loose. Well, dude, this is
like,
what
you're
they've
not
been
hitting your
doing.
margins.
Is for the last couple of explains what the last couple of years have been, which is where we've been getting the layoffs. We've been getting these consoles that are closing, or these studios that are closing, games that are canceled. This is what it's coming from. Something that we didn't really realize was a thing that's been going on for 2 full years. But I think you're absolutely right, because that's what this feels like, is that they have been set up to fail.
Yeah.
30%, she said 25%, and they're on average hitting 10 to 20%. And you're like
they're not going to hit that.
Let's just get a little bit higher. But 30% is like, no, you absolutely will not do that. And so I'm sure there's all sorts of triggers and things that are happening because she set this up so high. Dude, the idea that a CFO is controlling to the level that she is what is ostensibly like a creative industry. You can't do it like this. This is how you end up doing what Disney did and ruining Marvel Studios and like a whole, they're fucking killing the golden goose and seeing what's inside and being like, oh, it's just goose guts. Fuck.
It's just goose guts? Oh, we thought it would be something cool.
Speaking of, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I feel like 20% profit margins or accountability margins would be a stretch goal.
Say it right.
30% is like unattainable. That's like, I don't know. It's blowing my mind a little bit.
Yeah, no, anyway. I can't, especially for an industry like this, a business like this.
That's just not what the business does.
And when the averages are between, and the people in this article, some of the people they talked to in the industry were saying, like, dude, 20%, 25% is like a gangbusters year.
Yeah, like that.
Like,
I think for
like
most,
the year that
for a lot of
Rockstar
industries
releases GTA 5 is going to be like a 25% for them. So the idea that she's like comes in and just like just every fucking year needs to be beyond the highest pinnacle of the most successful gaming company in the world. Let's do it. And then it doesn't. So on top of this, though, talking about being set up to fail, Sarah Bond, who's the new head of Xbox, was talking about it was in an interview with Mashable. And they asked her about the next Xbox, because she was talking about the ROG Ally. And she's like, no, this is an Xbox thing. And everyone's like, well, that's not really what we were asking for, but cool. And they asked her about the next gen Xbox, and she said the next gen console is going to be very premium, very high end curated experience. What the fuck does that mean? And
Curated
is that
experience.
what anybody wants? Everyone wants an Xbox that starts at the base model at $1,000, and the extra very premium Game Pass is $100 a month. That's what she's trying to. I think she's trying to brace us for. She's like, "Oh, you want to play Xbox? You better be like an upper middle class family."
Which doesn't exist as much anymore. That's been eroding for a long time. That's what I'm like. I feel like they are pivoting in the wrong direction, to be honest. Like people are not at a place where they're like, yeah, I want to spend more money on this fancier stuff. Like that's what I want. They're like,
no, maybe that's it though. The only people that have money to spend anymore are the rich people. Everyone else is spending it on food.
That's the wrong niche. Like, I feel like that is just not what Xbox should be going for. That's like
Xbox is going to produce the next generation of Xbox is going to produce 12, and they're all going to be reserved for super yachts. That's where you have to play. You want to play the new Xbox? You better have a super yacht. You better have a yacht with a helicopter landing pad on it.
And honestly, that's part of it. That's part of the console. So the helicopter is part of it.
And another funny tidbit from this from this interview that Sarah Bond did with Mashable, is that she was talking about how exclusive games, basically talking shit on exclusive games, which is hysterical, just in light of everything that Xbox has been doing. And their whole purpose for buying Activision Blizzard was to make those products, those games exclusive on their platforms. And then immediately they have had to turn face in desperation. This is what Sarah Bond said. The biggest games in the world are available everywhere. You look at Call of Duty, you look at Minecraft, you look at Fortnite, you look at Roblox. That's actually what's really driving community in gaming. That's where people gather. And the idea of locking it to one store or one device is antiquated for most people. What about your boss, Phil Spencer? Was that is that antiquated for him? The idea of locking it to one store. You guys made this whole fucking thing called Game Pass with the idea that it would be locked into your platform.
To your thing.
You still have it. It's still like the driving centerpiece of your game business, and you're out here knocking it. It conceptually, bro. What?
Well, didn't they just say Halo was going to be on PlayStation?
No, they've just thrown in the towel on this, but it's so remarkable to me.
Like they lost the console war, right? Is that what we're?
It's like they didn't even, and there was no final battle or anything. They just were like, oh, oops, or maybe the final battle was the Activision acquisition. Imagine if they still had $70 billion in runway, because the Activision thing materially did not change Xbox as a business. I don't think that everyone's like, oh, Xbox turned it around once they brought those studios on board.
No.
Having an extra $70 billion in cash, or not, probably more likely, not being $70 billion in the hole with your parent company.
I feel like they could have just put out some games, which is the whole point of what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
They could have made some.
They just wouldn't have had, like, they wouldn't have even showed up on Amy Bond's radar, or Amy Hood. Right. I'm sorry, I mixed them up. Amy Hood wouldn't even know or think about Xbox, because she's like, oh yeah, they're fine. They make money. They're in the positives. They don't need. They don't owe us over $100 billion because of a bunch of stupid purchases that Phil Spencer demanded. I think they'd have a lot more runway. So I'm very interested. I also like the naming convention at Microsoft, is that they hire female executives that have a single syllable surname and then a double syllable first name. Amy Hood, Sarah Bond.
Yeah,
they all sound like
easier to remember
movie characters. Yeah, exactly.
They do. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't their real name. They're like, oh,
it's their stage name.
I need a stage name for this job, because it's going to be a disaster. I'm telling you this.
I don't want my real name attached to this. No. Yeah, I'll take this job though. Counter-Strike 2's latest update just completely upended the game's skin collection marketplace, wiping out the retirement savings of over 12 nerds.
Dude, I know people who recently have gone in and sold CS:GO stuff and like, oh yeah, I made $150 like from skins I had from knife
Not
skin
anymore.
that I had.
Not anymore. This is not you. You can join the NFT bros in their cardboard box behind the Walgreens.
Yeah,
because you don't have retirement savings anymore.
That's it, gone. If you should have sold already. Honestly, you shouldn't have held for so long.
This update to Counter-Strike 2 was introduced the trade up system, which lets people exchange 5 covert quality items, which I assume is the highest quality,
probably,
for a knife or gloves, which you could only previously get these items through rare drops. And so you had to just like spin a bunch and just hope that you get them. Now you can just trade up, which is not an unfamiliar pattern in video games. This is a very normal thing, but there are secondary marketplaces. There are marketplaces that are run by Valve themselves where you can buy these skins. In fact, I looked at Valve's marketplace and the most expensive item on there right now is $2,000. And there's a lot of them that are around $2,000.
CS:GO was big for this though. Like even when I was playing CS:GO, I only played for a little bit and I would get some drops and I'd be like, oh, this sells for $8. I'm going to go ahead and sell this, And for those people who were like holding on to stuff that was like pretty valuable, like $40, $50, you know what I mean? Like, they're just so furious now.
If I remember correctly, there was an AK-47 skin or something that sold for like $1 million. So they have like these crazy.
They have huge ones.
Skins.
All the big ones were from CS:GO. All the big ones.
And so, what this has done is it's just kind of eroded that market because instead of having to buy these, you can literally earn them, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, but then it makes it less special, right?
I know, but not as. But people are freaking out, and we'll get to that in a minute. But somebody did the math, and like the worst case scenario, based on all the covert quality items that are currently in the marketplace, if they were all traded up to these rarer items, it at most would double the supply. Which, yes, in a marketplace like a free market, doubling the supply, if it's an inelastic marketplace, would just half demand, which is going to have the commensurate effects on prices. But it's really not the end of the world. It's not like if it was like an order of magnitude, like there's going to be 10 times as many items, that's what would destroy the market. You'd be like, oh, it's over, it's cooked. But I feel like the reaction has been about that. The market cap, which is insane to say that. There is a market cap for the aftermarket for Counter-Strike 2 skins. And it is, can you guess? Did you look at it already?
No.
Guess it. $6 billion.
Oh, I was like 1.5 is where I was thinking.
$6 billion. And
about $6 billion
of that has been wiped off the books since this. So it's about half. Everything doubled the amount of items on the marketplace, and they basically have, because people are panic selling, understandably so.
Sure,
because they don't know how low it's going to go, and panic sales in a marketplace, that's what you always want. That's when you want to be selling. So the people that are, like you said, the people that are really involved in this are wigging a little bit.
Yep.
One of my favorite is from a CS. This was not on stream, because when it said CS:GO streamer in the article, I was like, oh, someone was just yakking. Because I feel like, not like you get to say stupid stuff on stream, but if you're a streamer and you talk for like 8 hours a day nonstop, you get a pass for saying some dumb shit. But nope, this guy tweeted this. This guy wrote this out with his little fingers, looked at it, reviewed it, and hit post anyway.
Yep, do it.
You guys know that people are probably going to harm themselves because of this. Yet you pushed it out without hesitation. Crazy. I am going to, if you ruin my Counter-Strike,
I'll do it.
I will harm myself.
You don't even know what I'll
fucking
do.
Wild thing to say.
I just
get a grip. Get
yeah.
a fucking grip on yourself. What a weird overreactive.
Honestly, this should be like a wake up call.
Yes, Raul, that is
like,
game.
why am I so
It's already on the Blursty list. Actually, both of these are on the Blursty list because we've got Blurst feature here and Blurst Gamer Rage. It's a double Blursty. This is a great fucking story. Yeah, so we got a good double Blursty here. $6 billion?
I'll do it. You don't even know.
I'll harm myself.
I'm gonna hurt myself.
I'll harm myself.
And honestly, it's your fault.
You didn't even hesitate.
You didn't even think about me
without hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that?
No one asked me.
How do they know if they didn't hesitate?
I have spent
maybe Valve
hours and hours
over this
daily
in
this market.
I'm gonna harm myself.
Dude, what am I
supposed
to do now?
That's like the most chicken shit way to say it too. Just say it. Say what you mean. There are people that are gonna kill themselves. They're gonna harm themselves. All right, I guess that's too bad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A few Sims 4's content creators have shown more backbone than some of the biggest celebrities on the planet by refusing to kneel for Saudi cash. Some people can't do it. Some people see that Saudi. Peterson, be realistic, man.
Yeah.
Saudis wheel a fucking dump truck up in your driveway, and it's just full of cash.
Yeah.
How much needs to be in that dump truck before you're like, yeah, we'll go to Saudi Arabia and record an episode of the podcast and speak positively of the Bonesaw people?
Like one episode?
Yeah, just one.
Can I talk crap about that episode later, like a year later?
So, because some of these comedians did that. They came back home and were like, oh, I regret what I did. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, I'll just come back and spend all that money on like LGBT causes.
Like $80.
It would pay for hosting for 2 months, 2 full months.
Guys, no,
I don't know.
I don't know. Honestly, it would have to be if they came and they were like, here's $10,000, I'd be like,
no, it would have to be generational wealth for me.
It would have to be a lot of money.
It'd have to be like 7 figures. And then I'd be like, okay.
7. Yeah. I think I could get by with like high. I get by with some 6 figures. Like, I don't know. Honestly, it would be the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. So you know what I mean? It's like
you'd pay, like the experience would have value.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
And we would just like talk so much crap about it afterwards, right?
Yeah. Oh, Raul, I'd probably do murder.
Now, what if they wanted to? What if they wanted?
Oh, I do all 3 of those actually.
What did he say? Murder.
He said as long as there wasn't murder, porn, or drug dealing, I'd consider it. I'm like, nah, I think I'd do all 3 of those.
Wait, can I pick who I murder?
I mean, I'd rather do those than the podcast. So,
like, I've been thinking about getting into some of those. To be honest,
I would like to combine 2 of those. You guess.
Like I was trying to get into porn. 2. Turns out I'm not that good looking, so I got.
They kept trying to turn it into snuff films, which would cover both of those for me. So these are Sims 4 content creators: James Turner, Jesse Plumbella McNamara, and Kayla. I'm not going to say the middle part. Lil Simsy Sims. Her last name is Sims. I refuse to believe she didn't have that legally changed because she's such a big content creator. And they have all requested to leave EA's creator
Maybe that's
network.
why she decided to play Sims. Your dentist last name is Crentist?
Maybe that's why he chose to become a dentist.
Sorry.
So they were saying, all 3 of them said it was the Saudi deal as their reason for having to ask off this creator network. This is an EA creator network. It goes beyond just the Sims for all of their games, and people that are part of it have access to games, events, and opportunities to work alongside development teams for all of their relevant games. And I've seen things like this. In fact, I was invited to an event at Blizzard that was somewhat like this, where I wasn't really going as a content creator. I was going as like a journalist, but they had a bunch of streamers there that streamed Heroes of the Storm, and they were like picking their brains and giving them opportunities to kind of comment on the game itself and to give feedback on how it was designed. So it's essentially like a user research group.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, and these guys have all three of these content creators, whereas sometimes you're like, oh, it's a streamer, who gives a shit if they're not going to stream the game anymore. All three of these have contributed. These people have contributed to the game, and they even have packs in the game, like Sims content packs that are named after them.
Oh,
so they're not like nobodies. They've created tools, mods, Sims 4 websites. Like, these are very deeply entrenched, embedded members of the Sims 4 community, and they're just like, peace. They can't do this. They're out. This is a statement from James Turner. He says, with the news of the buyout and understanding who will be owning EA in the future, I plan on shifting our focus to include more variety, non-Saudi games. In addition to that, I've also decided to leave the EA Creator Network and have asked to remove my creator code. Jesse McNamara also said, I hope that the sale falls through, and if it doesn't, it won't. I hope that those that stay put pressure on EA to maintain the level of inclusiveness that The Sims has always been about. Which brings us to the crux of this that I think it's kind of understated in this whole story. The Sims, I think the Sims community is pretty gay. Like,
yeah. I have never watched anything Sims related, and that is the impression that I've gotten over the years, just kind of doing this. Like, it's very
queer friendly,
like queer,
that's the
queer friendly, gay friendly, and like that's a part of it. And of course, there's like people who do wacky things with their Sims and things like that. But overall, I think it's
and so the idea that you have a country who is known for executing,
not fan
being gay, owning this game makes it a pretty easy one to be like, this is like even easier than Chick-fil-A. You're like, oh, the Chick-fil-A founders aren't like killing gay people, right? Like, no. You're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can still have their sandwiches.
Like, I can eat a sandwich sometimes. I don't want to wait in line, but like, if you
someone
bring
brings
me
one
one,
to a
I'm
work
gonna
party,
eat it.
I'm not gonna say no out of principle. I'll eat it.
Right.
Maybe not a Saudi chicken sandwich though. And they have turned this whole dude. I mean, it's Sims 4 was what? It's like 10, 15 years old. It's fucking old.
But like, I think it's like cool. I don't know. Part of me, I was thinking, I was like, is this going to make a difference? But I think it could make a difference in terms of the popularity of the game.
Yes.
And so I think that's what's cool is they are doing what they can to be like, no, we don't agree with this.
Yes, because they will not be the only people. These three content creators, I mean, that's going to have a run-on effect. If you look at, you're watching the stream and they're playing a certain pack, they're using certain items that they've contributed, remember, directly to this game. You go buy that pack. You decide you want it. It's really cool what they're doing. What that build they made was really neat, and I want that in my game. That's gonna have a noticeable impact. So what they're doing is actually like good activism. It's impactful, and fuck the Saudis.
Abby asked if how much it would cost for us to duel each other if the Saudis gave it to us. Like, if it's to the death, I don't want to do that.
If we're going mud wrestling,
like,
how much do we have to pay for that?
Which is, I got to fight, and it's like not even that bad. Like, I don't. That's way cheaper than doing like an episode. I don't care.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of fun. Anyway.
More than 1,200 games journalists have left the media over the last 2 years.
It's just Schreier and like one other dude out there, I think.
It's just that's all that's left, dude.
I feel like half of our articles are like one of these like three people
or AI. It's just
AI's been pretty good actually, on point with their stuff.
It's not true generally, and it's kind of like wacky, but
sometimes the writing doesn't quite make sense.
It's
like
not entirely English.
Sometimes I can't even read it because AI is not very good at letters, which seems weird. But like,
they're trying.
They try.
This blew my mind seeing this story because it felt like
100.
I time traveled back 10 years when I left game journalism because I was like, oh man, this shit's dying. This shit's like, there's no jobs left. There's no work left. Like, when I came into game journalism, you could reasonably expect if you were writing feature pieces, So like 1,200 words. How much do you think that I was getting paid back then?
$50, $40. I don't know.
$150.
$150
in like 2012. Now, I would be shocked if any freelance writer today for a feature piece could get more than $25 out of that. And when I left, like the prices were dropping precipitously, and there were only a few outlets that were paying that well. Outlets like Polygon and stuff were still paying well, but it was really, really hard to pitch them, and they were very few and far between.
Yeah.
But like I could find $100 place to land feature pitches. There was like dozens of them, and they were whittling down over like the 2 or 3 years that I did it. I watched them just like shutter and close, and paychecks would just not come. I remember chasing outlets down. Dude, it took me 8 months to get a fucking paycheck from IGN once, and I followed up like every 3 weeks. It was just nuts.
Crazy.
And still, that's when. So remember, that was 10 years ago when I was like, dude, fuck this. I can't handle this. This is too stressful. I need a real job. And this is still happening. How, like you said, like no joke, there's like 3 game journalists left. This data came out of Press Engine, a PR tool that's used by developers and publishers for them to distribute codes and press releases to a global database of journalists and content creators. So this is just, it's like a PR shop that you want to send a game code out to known journalists. You go through these guys. And that's how they've been tracking, is that more than 600 journalists who used to regularly cover games at major outlets around the world have disappeared from that database over the last 12 months. And about the same amount left the year prior to that. So they're just watching, their database dwindle, which probably sucks for them because it's like their fucking job. And most of these departures came from specialist game websites like IGN, Polygon, or GameStop. So what's also crazy on top of that is that if they looked at from the same statement, they said, if we look at amateur, part-time, or freelance writers, the number of departures goes up to 4,000 people since October of 2023. So 2 years. So that 1,200 person figure is just for like full-time reporters and journalists. But if you count everyone that's contributing to these websites, it's upwards of 4,000.
That's crazy.
Over 2 years? Dude, that's one thing. Dude. So in the midst of this, and this is a very important time for the industry, with all the layoffs that we've been seeing and everything else that's been just kind of wacky in the world. Like, this is the same time period that the fucking Activision acquisition's going on. Everything that's going on with Xbox, all this shit. And we're just watching the people who would ostensibly report on and tell us about these events and record them we're bleeding those people. One of the big things this was blamed on was Google's summary, which didn't surprise me in the slightest. When you Google something and the little Google AI summary pops up at the top.
Yeah.
So if you're Googling something simple, how many skins are there in HOTS? You don't have to click through to a website or a web page where that answer has been written by a games media person, and then they're getting ad revenue while you scroll down and look for the answer. Google just scrapes that, steals that content, and puts it in their little AI summary. People just Google it. They don't click off of the main Google page. So nobody's getting ad revenue anymore. They're basically just writing copy for Google's AI scrapers.
Really?
Which makes perfect sense. So dude, that's funny.
You should get back into writing.
Because when I left, there was that wasn't the case. That we weren't even facing something such an existential threat like that. And then that was just, God, it was so much worse. It's so much worse now. Yeah. So support your rags, people. You got a gaming outlet that you like to read. Turn off your ad blocker. And I mean, this is why I get the fucking Game Informer magazines to my house. I don't always read them. I don't usually have time every single month, but I will never turn that subscription off because they need my money. And I want to support that. So like, if you guys, like I said, if you guys got an outlet that you visit, if they have a way to donate $5 a month, like that's actually worth it. Because there's no turning back on this. If it just goes poof one day and we have just Schreier, he can't do it all, guys. He can't report on all of it.
He tries. He
does.
He can't though.
He does, but he's got like small children and he's a busy man, so he can't do everything.
Yeah.
Sport your rags. Over 5,000 games released on Steam this year didn't even make enough money to recover their $100 listing fee. Steam published, we see since January 1st, 2025, almost 13,000 games have launched on Steam in the last, 10 months? Almost 11 months?
Mm-hmm.
No, 10 months on Steam. And nearly half of those, 5,000 of those, didn't even make back the $100 it costs to put a game on Steam. This is according to the Steam data tracker Gamealytic or Gamalytic. I assume it's Gamealytic. Just some numbers here. 8% of these releases are estimated to have grossed over $100,000. So that's like enough money to like justify making a game. So that's 8%, dude. That's not bad.
That's actually not that bad at all.
Success rate. 8% makes like a decent amount of change, unless you have like a huge team working on this. But generally, I would assume most of these 8%, if you cut out cut out all the AAA and AA titles out of the 8%. What do you think? Half remains? Half is indies? Because that 8% also includes all AAA and AA games.
Yeah,
so like half of those would be indies. Do you think?
I probably a third.
He said 40% didn't see a return on their $100 release cost, which we already talked about.
And that doesn't surprise me too much.
No,
but like I think a lot of games that people just like put their game on there, just like, hey, we got a game on Steam. You know what I mean? Like I'll foot.
Yeah, how many student games are these? Yeah. The bottom 30% of games by revenue averaged just $37 in gross.
That's awesome.
So we made
$37 off this thing.
Yeah, $37 for $100 investment. Is that not over a 30% accountability margin?
That's
I think it's pretty good accountability margin, don't you?
I mean, yeah, they changed it to accountability, so it's not, we're not talking about profit specifically, so accountability could really be anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like you're accountable for that. Sounds great.
66% of Steam releases this year earned less than $1,000 in revenue. So, dude, honestly, so we're basically looking at 34% of games, of those 13,000 games, made over $1,000. I mean, look, you and I work for a year on a video game and we put it on Steam and it makes over $1,000.
Stoked.
I am fucking stoked. Like
if anyone even plays it, I'm like,
yes,
stoked. You know what I mean? So like I could see people just being,
that's dope. 34%, so like a third of the games on Steam, which means that Steam is surfacing those games. It's like, I assume most of those people aren't just getting that $1,000. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. And then 47.4 are estimated to have sold under 100 copies, with 28% between 100 and 1,000 copies. Again, 28% of games on Steam this year sold between 100 and 1,000 copies. I know that's like, I think you can read into that stat what you like. For me, I think that's positive.
I do too.
Of a game.
Like, I guess if some of these guys are trying to do this, like this is their living, like they're trying to do this for a living, that's different. But I feel like a lot of these are not that. It's just like people.
It just means you're putting out a good product, a good enough product that random people are buying it.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's dope. So, yeah, I think 13,000 game launches this year, and we've still got 2 months to go. That's fucking wild. Good for
that is crazy. But yes, I always think that. I'm like, good for these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you get a game up on Steam, you've won. You've won. That is so cool. If it's playable and random people find it and buy it, like that's so neat.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry to inform you. Welcome to to another company reset. Hope you've updated your resume. 'Cause you've just been laid off.
You guys haven't heard this one in a minute.
We haven't been doing too many layoffs, but you will. Don't worry. First quarter hits. Woo.
Yeah, you think that there's not anyone left to lay off, but they can always find
them.
more. Ubisoft's Massive Entertainment is laying off some staff, an unidentified number of staff. The studio behind The Division and Star Wars Outlaws has implemented Peterson's favorite, voluntary layoffs.
Yeah.
One. We introduced a voluntary career transition program.
Why did they call it voluntary
career transition brought to you by the same people that said accountability margins, where we just don't say what we mean anymore in business, and that's how we get away with just doing terrible shit.
I need to send you the link. One of my coworkers sent me this video on Instagram of like, oh, this is my corporate translator.
Oh,
and it is hilarious.
Yeah,
and this is like exactly what we're seeing right now with
it's
this.
like beyond parody. That's what's so fucking funny to me.
Absolutely.
Voluntary career transition program giving eligible team members so if you're not eligible, you just get laid off. Eligible team members the opportunity to take their next career step on their own terms. So we're letting you step off the cliff. We're not pushing you. If you're eligible,
tell you how Velo works, voluntary layoff, because we do these sometimes.
Yeah.
And people get stoked for it, honestly. If you're like, I'm thinking about leaving, and you've been there for a while, and they offer a voluntary layoff, you're like, done.
Jump on it.
Give me that paycheck.
Yeah.
But so what this means is eligible will not be the low-level employees. I'm telling you right now, this is not going to be the low-level couple, like level 1, level 2, like the entry-level guys who have just started their career. This is only for higher career, higher paid folks. And yeah, this is not going to stop them from doing a layoff. If they've got to lay off, say, 100 people and they offer a voluntary layoff, 20 people take the velo, then they're still going to lay off 80 involuntary layoffs. They're not, this isn't like, hey, we're just going to offer you a severance package if you want to leave. No. This is like, we're going to lay off 100 people.
Right.
If you want in, let me know, but only if you're one of the high paid guys.
If you're eligible. No. Yeah. So anyone that's seeing this probably isn't eligible. The people that are eligible are already on their way out the door. They were talking about specifically for people that are between games, which is something we've talked about just the nature of video games. You finish and ship a game, then you're sitting around like, what next kind of a thing. They say this term refers to employees. They're talking about the voluntary career transition. Refers to employees on permanent contracts waiting to be reassigned to a new project after, for example, their previous video game has been released into stores. For me, that's a management and operational failure that people are, quote, waiting to be reassigned to a new project. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, waiting for fucking what? Get off your asses. Figure out what game they're going to make next and put them on that game. The idea that you've got tech employees that are just sitting there in a cubicle just waiting to be assigned to something is ludicrous to me.
Like the project management, I know I talk about this a lot, is so bad because if they were organized at all, they would be looking at their timeline and saying, okay, we're going to have these people, this X amount of people who are going to be available in roughly this time frame.
Yep.
So we are going to save these roles for them.
And we're going to get
so we don't have to go through the hiring process
up and running. And it's going to be spun up. And then the second that those guys ship their game, they're going to transition right over and they're still going to be running with it. And then we'll be able to scale up that next game because we've already got like the bones built out.
Yeah.
And we throw all the bodies at it. We build that next game. And as we're building that, we get it on the next one. Dude, that's fucking crazy. You're paying these people over $100,000. Dude, motherfucker, you don't have something next. They're cleaning bathrooms for that month. You can lay off the janitorial staff and have these guys do something else. The idea of just having them fucking sit at a cubicle,
just hanging out,
can't figure out what to fucking do,
scrolling Instagram,
and then you lay them off. Yeah, it's so nuts to me.
It's just poor planning because the other piece is you want these people around. They just shipped a game. Okay, so say you've got this game up and running and you need some troubleshooting, some emergency troubleshooting. Like you release a patch that's not good and you need some people. call over your guys. Hey, we're on a code red here. We need you guys
And
to
they're
just work
already
on this for like a couple weeks.
working on a different game, and they're
right.
warm.
They're just kind of like bouncing. Like they've got the knowledge, they've got the
Yeah.
background of what this is. Instead, your plan is we're gonna let them sit for a little bit and then just like
And
lay
let
them
them
off.
go.
Like it's really, really, really poor planning for a large AAA studio. They should be so much better at this if their whole plan is to churn out video games so they can make money off of them. But that they don't know how to monetize a creative space. And so they're just like, we'll just get rid of all of our creatives and start from scratch.
I'll tell you how to
every time.
monetize a creative space. Keep making creative projects. You can't make money if you're not fucking making anything.
Mm-hmm.
You got time to lean, you got time to clean. Dude, grocery store middle managers have a better understanding of keeping their labor busy and doing something.
And not just letting everyone go. So then, like, when you do need them, you got to like go through the whole hiring process again.
The grocery store is
your
slow
people
for an hour, so you just fire every employee in there, and then some more customers come in. And you're like, oh fuck.
Post the job. Hey,
post the job.
We're
post
busy
the job.
again.
I gotta train some people. And then when they're doing terrible at their job because they just started working there, you're like, God damn it, more layoffs. We gotta fire these assholes. They're fucking up the grocery store.
They suck. Why does everybody suck these days?
Everyone suck. Can't find any good help. The Gamer website is facing widespread editorial layoffs. This is thegamer.com, founded in 2017. Their parent company, Valnet, also the company behind Game Rant, and they just purchased Polygon, is just shuttering shit. The entire features team is gone, along with a lot of senior staff, which to me reads as we're going to have 3 guys posting AI stories until everyone catches wise and removes this from their browser bookmarks.
Yeah, right.
They're cooked. They're fucking cooked. You don't lay off your whole features team and senior staff, because who's left is just looking for a new job at that point. So you're not going to really have engaged employees from the skeleton crew left behind. Again, this just goes back to the huge numbers of lost talent in gaming media. And these are, I mean, that's 7 years these guys have been around.
Yeah.
8 years. Gone. And this is like, we cited this outlet all the time. This shows up in our news.
Right.
The Gamer shows up in our news all the time. They do good work.
Now we're just going to see some AI stories. It'll be great.
Yeah, they're just going to add an I. The Gamer.
Oh, wow.
AI.
Nice.
I don't fucking know.
And like highlight the AI, like change the color on it. Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah, no, you're there with me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we're there.
Riblets. You know what riblets are.
Ribby little biblets.
Ribby little biblips.
Biblips.
Biblips. We'll put AI on that one. Little meat chunks, little meaty, less meaty stories. Not a full rib. A little less meaty.
A little bit of something on there.
A little bit of sauce. Final Fantasy composer Nobuo Yamasu.
Oh, that is a hard one.
I think I got close. He says he's never used generative AI and never will. My dog. I failed. I used ChatGPT recently for 2 hours. I had a 2-hour conversation with ChatGPT.
He did. He kept
so
trying to get it to do dirty stuff, and there was like, that's not what we're here for.
Dude, it was a trip. I feel like I finally used AI for like a good purpose where I had it, and it did make a lot of mistakes, and I had to keep correcting it, which is like reassuring for me. I'm like, oh, so it's still stupid as fuck. Yeah, good luck taking over the nuclear codes when you can't even add 2 numbers together, you dumb shit.
They don't need to take them over. Donald Trump will just hand them over on accident. Hegseth will just
on Twitter by an AI bot and just be like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah, I'll send them to you. I don't even care. Hegseth will too. Like, we'll send them both to you. Like, get Pete on board. Anyway.
No, I was using it for I was trying to maximize. I'm trying to hit, because I've been traveling so much this year. I was like, I wonder if I could hit gold status with Delta. And I was using ChatGPT to like noodle out how I might weasel
how to do it.
And, how much travel I'd need, how many miles, this, that, and the other. And I was like, I could have Googled this for like 6 hours and made a spreadsheet or 2 to understand it. I just asked ChatGPT, and like, I feel like every time you're correcting ChatGPT, you're training it to get smart enough to launch the nuclear missiles.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my part, you guys. I'm trying to end this nightmare we call life as quickly as possible for all of us.
Please, like quicker and
I'm
like
doing my part. I'm putting in my time. So the Nobuo Yamatsu, Nobuo Yamatsu
I don't know.
is the composer for Final Fantasy, and he was being interviewed by a Japanese outlet, and he said there's been a surge of graphical advancements in games in recent years, but in terms of game music, I feel like it already reached its final form when musicians became able to use their studio recordings in games, which, you know, there were beeps and boops for a long time, but now they're just like actual audio files in the games. And he's like, yeah, it doesn't get better than that. And I'm like, bro, I like that. This guy still exclusively has vinyl in his home. That's all he listens to. He says, I've never used AI and probably never will. I think it still feels more rewarding to go through the hardships of creating something myself. When you preach, brother. When you listen to music, the fun is also in discovering the background of the person who created it, right? Yeah. And the background of AI is that they just stole art from people and they just regurgitated it back to us like vomit. They just baby bird art at us.
Bird art at us. Okay.
There's your title. So yeah, that's, you can, if you are going to continue to play Final Fantasy games, you can rest easy knowing that they are still composed with blood, sweat, and tears. And this guy is self-taught, which is kind of cool. So the guy making music for Final Fantasy is lots of, although every time that's cited is like, oh, look how amazing this is. I'm like, dude, most musicians are self-taught. Like, it's not a wealthy pursuit. Most of the time people can't afford. They're like, here's a piano, here's a guitar, figure it out. I got YouTube. I got this. Another riblet here. One of Starfield's designers said it's still a great game, but procedural generation stopped it from reaching the caliber of Fallout and Elder Scrolls. This is kind of a thin story,
but I see it. Like, I see that. I'm like, the thing about that makes Fallout specifically, like the Fallout world, so great is some of the like personal touches of just little random tidbits you find in there. You don't get that with procedural generated. And I felt like that was, I know they were trying to go for like big sweeping, but like that was probably a misstep because it changes what we wanted out of that studio.
In Fallout 3, there's this door in the side of a mountain that you just stumble across. It's pretty tucked away, so it's kind of hard to find. And you find it and it's locked. So you have to use a lock pick to unlock this door. And you're like, dude, what's in this? Is it a bunker? Is it some hidden room? And you open the door and it's just a concrete wall with spray paint. It just says, fuck you. And then there's another thing where you're like going through the sewer in downtown Washington, D.C., and you see a motorcycle that's on the ground there. And you're like, what the shit? And then if you look up one of the sewers, there's a ramp. And then if you look down, there's a headless skeleton in the other direction. And then if you look up right above this motorcycle, there's like a hanging down sign with a skull that's like,
oh my gosh,
attached to it. The idea being at some point, some lunatic drove a motorcycle through the sewer and took it off a sweet jump and took his own head off. And then you find it hundreds of years later. Dude, no procedural generation is ever going to put that in a game. You could program it, but then you would see that same scene every third planet and it would lose its impact. So like you said, these handcrafted touches are what make these games so enjoyable to discover. Because that door, that fuck you door, dude, I didn't find that until, I don't know, my like fourth playthrough of Fallout, and I was like, what the shit is this? I've never found this door before. And then I just laughed hysterically when it swung open and just said fuck you in my face. I was like, oh my god. So yeah, that's kind of what he was getting at. This is Bruce Nesmith, and he was speaking on the FRVR podcast, and he left the game a year before it came out, so take this with a grain of salt. So it kind of seems like he's just talking shit on Starfield. But he says, when the planets start to feel very samey and you don't start to feel the excitement, that's to me when it falls apart. I was always disappointed. I was also disappointed when pretty much the only serious enemy you fought were people. There's a lot of cool alien creatures, but they're like the wolves from Skyrim. They're just there. They don't contribute. You don't have the variety of serious opponents that are story generators. So, yeah. Where were you, Bruce Nesmith? You left, you bitch.
Oh, you're talking about this after the fact.
Why didn't you
push for that?
Stick with the game and fix it. Oh, yeah, you got hindsight's 2020, buddy.
Not my problem.
Yeah, you left. It could have been a lot better, you boner. Last up here is Ravens head coach. Head coach? This is the head coach?
Yeah.
Ravens head coach took video games away from his team until they start winning again.
I just had to put this
Ravens.
In. The Baltimore Ravens are 1-5, and the coach is not happy. Like, that is horrible. So that's for you non-sports minded folks. That's 1 win, 5 losses. So he's pissed. And these guys like to party in their room, like have fun, play games, like ping pong table and stuff like that. But there was a couple gaming consoles, and they used to get real rowdy playing Smash Bros. Is that
what it was?
Yeah. And he's like, no more, dude, no more.
Because that's the thing,
you idiots don't deserve this.
Yeah, you can't be sad and morose after a loss and play Smash Brothers. So if he's coming into the clubhouse after they lose their 5th game of the season in a row, and they're all like jawing around and goofing,
just cheering,
because no one's playing Smash Bros sadly,
being like sad morose.
So
Smash
he comes
Bros.
down into the clubhouse and is like, "What the fuck? No, we're paying you to win at football." Not to yell at each other at Smash Bros. So he took away their video games. Where was this reported?
I saw this one in maybe Kotaku,
how did this come out?
Oh, I don't know how it came out. Probably some players were complaining about
team
it.
Officials in Harbaugh removed several recreational staples from the Ravens locker room.
Dude, it's like punishing a small child.
He took away cornhole. He took away the cornhole boards too.
This is punishing a small child. Like, I'm taking away your video games, taking away all your fun stuff until you get your grades up. Like, this is I don't know why this makes me laugh so hard. It's like I had to put this in. It's hilarious.
So you go to work and you practice, and then you take a shower, and it's like, sit here and watch game film. You don't get to, you have to do your job. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play the short one if you want.
Which one?
It's fine. It's good. Everyone likes this one anyway.
They got 100 game pass, got 200 day one. 20 million in the bag, watching sales start to slump. Talking shopper on the top of JD's jugular, it's Trump. He can make them economical as JD's sales report. It's reporting with variety, fucking the propriety. Suck it up and listen, gonna gain some notoriety. Gaming ain't free, not since they was late fees. Peter City must oblige, even if he disagree.
Just one, you guys. Just one for this, and it's just an update over last week. Escape from Duckov has hit 1 million sales.
This is like the best. This made me so happy when I saw this.
We're gonna have to buy and play this game. You understand
1
that, right?
million?
We have to get on this gravy.
Oh my
train.
god!
I need in. I need to know what it is. Why is this so good?
Why have we sold 1 million? Like, this is so crazy.
More
I want to look at it.
Games. That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get Call of Ducky.
Yeah,
and it's just gonna be it's just gonna be Call of Duty with ducks.
Okay, remember last week the reviews were overwhelmingly positive, and I remember the exact number because it was 999 reviews.
Right.
This week, this is 1 week later, was still overwhelmingly positive, 2,857 reviews.
That's a crazy ratio. Because overwhelmingly positive is 90% plus, right?
Yeah, and it's 95% right now. 95% of what did I say, 2,800 or something?
Yeah, it's insane. It's almost tripled. And reviews, I feel like, that's a huge indicator.
Love this. Again, I love it when a random indie comes out and just blows up and makes a ton of money.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Of that, what is that? That 28%? At 28% between 100 and 1,000 games. All you need, like, if you're in that sweet spot, all you need is just like one little thing, one little just tip in the right direction, you end up on a Steam page, on the front page of something for one day. All of a sudden, you're making $100,000. Fuck yeah, duck
Dude,
off.
that's so cool. I
Get
love
it,
this.
duck off. Get
duck
it.
off. Get it.
Kudos. Kudos. Kudos.
All right, kudos is our positivity segment. We're having a good time. Things we liked.
Okay,
gonna-
tell me about this salad.
I can't believe you waited this long. I'm so impressed. Okay, so
Better be good.
you guys might have noticed listening to this podcast, JD doesn't eat super well all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of gut bombs. It's honestly like most of my diet is gut bombs and whole milk. That's basically it. And I'll just tell you the final stage of eating for me isn't always like the best. Because I don't get as much fiber as I probably should. But I decided, I was like, time to grow up, JD. Time to get dietary fiber. And I started buying salad mix at the grocery store. Just like, it's the American salad mix. It's like,
is that the flavor?
yeah, that's the mix. So it's iceberg, romaine, shredded carrots, radishes, and shredded cabbage, which is a great mix for me. And I've started putting, if you guys are in the Discord, you probably already knew this, but I've started putting chow mein, the dry chow mein noodles in there. And then I got this randomly because it jumped off the shelf to me at Trader Joe's. It's called Goddess dressing. It's like a salad dressing.
You talked about that.
Did I? Yeah. It's like a mustardy salad dressing with like sesame seed. I don't know. It's fucking dank. So I've been eating salad, whatever. And dude, it's been noticeable. Like my stomach has been so much happier. Not to say like I'm always sick, because I'm really not. Like I wouldn't be making myself suffer with all the food that I eat if it was making me like uncomfortable all the time.
Right. You're still doing okay. Wait, you got a few years until this really starts to hit you.
Absolutely. So in the interim, I'm trying to introduce new things that make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, dude. And I get like, now when I'm on my trips, this is something I've started doing. Instead of getting fries, I get a side salad. This is not like a weight thing. It's not even really a health thing. It's like a feel thing.
Yeah, you feel better.
I just
I get that.
better. Yeah. So I'm like, I'll still get the fries. I get the fries.
Like sometimes I just want the fries. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm getting a big old burger. I want a side salad. Like I absolutely get that,
dude. It's been weird. I'm not like a vegetable guy, but yeah, like a crunchy, fresh salad. I'm like fucking all about these days.
Okay, so just salads. That's like
it's so cheap. That's the other thing. That little bag. It was not little. It was like a big bag of those chow mein noodles. That's gonna last me like 2 months. And then I get a bag of salad mix. I think it gets me 3 or 4 salads. And I just eat them I eat just one a day, and it's like $2.50. It's dirt fucking cheap. Especially for how good it makes me. And then I just eat whatever the fuck I want. I air fry whatever the shit I want, and I'm like, dude, I'm covered. I ate something healthy today.
It's like when you go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You go
donut shop afterwards.
Yeah, and you're like, I went to the gym so I can indulge a little bit. And you're like,
that's not how it works, but okay. Why isn't the gym working? So yeah, eat salad. You guys are gonna fucking love it. It's good for you. And Raul mentioned in the chat, you were saying you like to put goldfish in your salad. Here's my problem with goldfish or croutons. Okay. I want to be able to fork it. I want the fork to go all the way through. I want it on my fork, and I feel like with croutons,
you want to spear it.
I want to spear it, and I try to. What do you?
Why?
Like, how you like scooping the salad in your mouth?
You spear the lettuce and all the stuff, and then I just scoop a crouton.
Yeah, I can't get that balance on there. I struggle with the scoop.
That's not very hard. You just gotta scoop it and it sits on top of that stuff.
I'm eating salad wrong.
Sometimes if it's like big croutons, you gotta get the little bit bigger ones. So you can't get them on there. Then you just put a mouthful of lettuce in, grab a crouton, put that in there afterwards, like secondary.
At that point, just eat the salad with your hands. When you get
you might be onto something.
When you get a spearable crouton though, where it's like soft enough, but it's still got crunchy and you can spear it.
Or when you get it and it doesn't break fully apart, and you're like,
yeah.
I did it.
That's my dream.
Careful as you bring it up to mouth. I put goldfish on there sometimes. Goldfish. I just love goldfish. This is like a thing for me.
Perpetually a 4-year-old.
Yeah. And sometimes I like the crunch in my salad, but I don't want it to add too much because I've already put. When I do like a salad bar, for example, it's not healthy. It's not healthy.
So much shit on there.
And like there's a lot of big
cheese.
flavors involved. And so sometimes I just want the crunch and I'm like, oh, they've got like garlic Parmesan croutons. I'm like, I don't need more flavor. Why don't I just get like some goldfish, put them on there, So I just like that little bit of a crunch. Plus I love goldfish. I just love them. The only issue is you can't leave them on forever because they do get soggy relatively quick. So like you need to eat this salad pretty fast.
Skylar mentioned that he does Dots pretzels.
I've heard people doing that.
I could kind of see that because it's
if
similar.
You have, so like that's if you do like I would do that if I did like because often I put cottage cheese instead of cottage cheese
that's
and
what
ranch.
I gotta get.
Like
that's
half cottage cheese, half ranch. So you're doing less dressing, but you still get the wetness of it. But you need a little bit of that salty flavor still. That's where the crouton comes in, and that's where like a Dots pretzel would be like perfect. I just want to add a little bit of saltiness to it,
Cottage cheese. Look, you guys got good suggestions for how to spruce up a salad. Because that's another thing. A little thing of cottage cheese is like $1. And that can just live in my fridge for a month and just dress all my salads. And I'm just like, it's so easy. Fucking salad, you guys.
Salad, yeah.
Then you can eat one Crave cookie a night and just guilt-free.
Well, or I'm going to go into my kudos now because it's a good segue. Remember when we used to try to segue all of our stuff? We don't even try anymore.
Remember when we used to try, period?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It's hard to remember those days.
Fucking years.
Hard to remember those days. So we're talking about eating Crave cookies, or you could eat Cravelets. And this is not a continuation of the ad. I went to Crave Cookies, and they've got right now pumpkin Cravelets, so little mini pumpkin cookies that you buy them and you get a dipping cream. What is it? It's like a
dipping sauce. It's cream cheese dipping sauce.
Yeah, it's and okay. So I've been eating a lot of different pumpkin stuff during this holiday. I do like pumpkin cookies and things like that. And the pumpkin Cravelets are one of my favorites so far. I've had 2 good things. The other one was a pumpkin cake type of thing from Old Grist Mill, which is up north. It's like all up north in Utah. So there's only a few of them. But the pumpkin Cravelets, guys, are legit. They're so good. I love them. I want to eat so many of them. Like I get them, JD gives me some, and I get in the car and eat 2 right away. Like just like I get them, I dip them in the sauce, and I just
soft.
They are so they really are. They're fantastic.
So yeah.
So if you're looking for that good pumpkin cookie and you've got a Crave near you, got to get these Cravelets. I'm not serious. I'm not kidding. Like dead serious. These are so good.
Yeah, they're pretty dope. And there's like no end date on these. Just as long as people are buying them, we're going to keep them on there.
Dude, please.
So they may just go out next week. You never know. You have to keep buying them to keep them out there.
Okay.
All right. One last kudos I have.
I know a guy.
Yeah, hook it up. My first non-foodos in like a month, maybe. I feel like all my kudos are food lately. I have been reading some new comic books, a new run that was released from DC called the Absolute Run. So far, I believe they only have Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Wonder Woman. I got them all from my public library, so I didn't have to pay for them, luckily. And they're kind of, like I said, they're just brand new. So they're just in their first like 5 issues or whatever, all 3 of them. And I got like a little collection of each. And the Absolute Superman was okay. I'd say it's good. It was good. It just wasn't like, it was like, cool, another Superman comic. The idea here is that there's been some fuckery in the DC multiverse. And Darkseid, that guy, he's like so powerful. I don't know if you guys are like follow like the power levels of superheroes. He makes Thanos look like a little bitch in terms of like his abilities. And so he did something where he fucked up the multiverse. And these are new takes with similar through lines for the normal mythos of these three characters, but things are so different. So like you recognize certain things, but then certain things are twisted and you're like, oh. As an example, in Absolute Superman, he, instead of landing on Earth as a baby, is raised to adolescence on Krypton with his parents, who are not scientific elites on the planet, but instead they're like simple farmers. But they were both very super intelligent. They were like run out of the Krypton's science elite because they were like, dude, you guys are fucking up the planet and destroying everything. So Superman actually was raised as a Kryptonian before he ended up on Earth. And it kind of explores the differences there. He also, his cape is essentially like a nanobot weave. If you kind of think about like Iron Man toward the end of the Avengers run, where his suit was just like a bunch of mini little robots, like Superman has that, and it like talks to him and like helps him out. So that's Absolute Superman. Absolute Batman, his chest, the symbol on his chest, like the bat, it turns into the head of an axe. His cape is like, he uses it like, you know how bats walk on their wings?
Yeah.
They use it. So his cape functions like that. So he like grabs people with it and shit. So he's using his cape differently. Wonder Woman has one arm because she cut off her other arm as a sacrifice to the gods because she was raised in hell on an island by Circe, and she and Steve, you know, her boyfriend, whatever, ended up there, and to get him back out of hell, she sacrificed her arm. So she has like a magical arm. Also, she's a witch who does magic.
Wow.
And at one point, she turns herself into the goddess Medusa to have a kaiju fight with an H.P. Lovecraft monster. Dude. And she has a Buster Sword. You know Cloud from Final Fantasy VII? His humongous fucking sword?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman has one of those.
Wow.
And, dude, so it is just so you're kind of, there's like similarities, and she still is an Amazon. She's still like the last Amazon, but she was actually like exiled by Zeus into hell because like the gods wanted to hide her away or whatever and just get rid of the Amazons. So you're like, oh, so it's like kind of raised on an island by like a maternal figure, but like a little different kind of a thing. And she's a witch and she does magic. Oh my fucking God. You guys. Like I said, Absolute Superman, not as great. Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman. I'm like, these are the movie. I want this fucking movie. I want people, because that's what we get, the same thing. We see Uncle Ben die so many fucking times. We see, you know, Ma and Pa Kent die and whatever, raise this little baby that crashes into the planet so many times. And these are like, you know what? We're going to take the characters and do something completely motherfucking different. Oh, and then in this one, Batman is not a rich billionaire. He's the son of like a working class mom, and his dad was killed or something. And so he's just like a super genius that like kind of just he runs a scrappier, more guerrilla operation just all over the city. Oh my God, dude, it's so sick. And then the bad guys are mixed up. Like Superman, his main antagonist is Ra's al Ghul. I don't know, man. It's so good. I know. I think
that sounds dope.
Yeah. If you guys, oh yeah, Raul's seen Absolute Batman. He says he puts prime Hulk Hogan to shame in terms of muscles. The character is like 8 feet tall in his suit. He's got these humongous fucking boots. He's just huge. He's just so big. And he just wallops people. It's so fucking cool. So yeah, check out those Absolute series. I'd read all three. Don't take my word on the Superman one. If you guys get your hands on these, like I said, public library has them. Here in Salt Lake, I know Salt Lake County Library has them because that's where I got them. So
awesome.
Absolute Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Awesome new takes on the characters. Awesome comic books. The art's great. Character design is fucking cool as shit. And Wonder Woman's got her magic arm is just like covered in these red tribal tattoos. Fuck. So
that's cool.
So cool.
Be enlightened. Be kind. Be wise. Be kind. Be wise. Be enlightened. Be enlightened. Be kind. Be wise.
Dude, when did you make that? Recently?
I thought you made it. Maybe I did.
I think you made it. It's so sick. It's
I
a
don't know.
funky tune.
It's been a long time though.
Yeah. It all just blends together after 8 years, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Be Kind Rewind is this segment where we look back to earlier years of our gaming career. And it does seem weird to do this in regards to earlier years of our friendship.
Yeah.
That's how long we've been friends and how long we've been playing games together, that we can
We're
look
doing
back
Be
to early
Kind
years of playing
Rewind.
games together, and we're doing Be Kind Rewind for it.
Yeah.
It's a retro segment now.
Yeah.
Our early friendship, Peterson, was on retro games. Wrap your mind around that.
Well,
We're gonna be dead in like 8 years,
dude, we
like
are
maybe 9
right
if
there.
we're lucky. Like,
Genuinely.
we're right there. So I wanted to do a Be Kind Rewind on the theme that we've been following with this Counter-Strike Go skin gate. We're talking about skins. What were some of our awesome, because we don't really, I don't know about you, but I don't really play games with skins anymore. It's not like it's mostly a multiplayer game thing. We don't play.
Yeah, and like usually, like it's been a little while since I've gotten really into one. I will say it's. I guess if I could just jump in and start, because it ties a little bit to the CS:GO stuff. I had a lot of cool skins in PUBG. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Chase and I, my buddy Chase, he was in part of our League of Legends group. We liked those like Arma 3 types of games. Like we were playing Arma 3, and then PUBG came out. And I messaged Chase and I was like, dude, have you seen PUBG? We should play that. And it just come out, and he said, I know some guys who worked on the dev team for it. He's like, I'm going to trade them some codes. I'll get us some codes for PUBG from the devs. And I was like, tight. So he gives me a code for PUBG. Well, little did he know, this had, it was the founders codes. So it came with the founders pack, which we just got this for free, right? And we were like, cool, what's this founders pack? It's sold in the Steam marketplace for, at the time, it was selling for about $500. And so I was like, dude, we should sell these. And Chase was like, let's hold them. Let's hold them. Because the game started getting really big, like just blowing up. I sold mine for just under $1,000.
And it just went in your Steam wallet, right?
Yeah, it just went in my
Isn't
Steam
that
wallet.
fun? Your Steam games for like years?
A couple years, yeah. And I was like buying games for other people and stuff. I was just like, yeah, you want a game? Like, here you go. Like, because I didn't pay anything for this. Like, I just got it for free. Chase held his for for probably another year or two. And I remember he got like, I think $1,300 or $1,400 for it. And it wasn't even that cool of a skin. Like, I used it for a while. He didn't open his. I played the game a lot more than him, though, so I used it. And people would comment on it and be like, oh, where did you get that skin? Because it was, like, super rare back then. It was just, like, some red shoes, some pants, like a leather jacket type of thing. Like, it wasn't even that cool. But that, I mean, just the talking about skins, talking about the marketplace, that's just like the story of my life for that, where I had like almost $1,000 in my Steam account because of skins.
Dude, that's so nuts.
Isn't that nuts?
I
forget about that sometimes.
That is so much Steam cash, because I'm thinking like, that's got to be close to my lifetime purchases on Steam.
You think so? You would think so.
I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me.
It goes fast.
Don't tell me the truth.
It goes fast.
I don't want to know how much I spent on Steam. I don't want to know.
Okay. So what skins are
cool
like memorable for you?
So when I think of skins, my first intro to skins where I was like, oh, they actually matter, because I did play like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and there were skins for your guns, which were cool. But that I didn't feel like I ever really noticed. And there were also skins for gun skins in I guess there were character skins as well in Gears of War 2, especially with the multiplayer. Got a lot of cool skins there. But they were like, it was like a set number. It's like each character has like 2 skins, and they weren't like really releasing new ones. It wasn't like a thing. It was like a fun add-on, but it wasn't certainly something you bought. Sometimes you get, like in Gears of War, you got skins if you pre-ordered the game, something like that, and you really couldn't get them otherwise. But they weren't like really a thing that I really thought of, other than being like, oh my god, my gun is gold, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or I killed a guy and his gun was gold after I picked it up, that's cool. But it was like, when skins actually became something that I like started paying attention to, and I was like trying to get them and like wanted to get certain skins, was League of Legends. That was my real introduction to skin, like a skin ecosystem, if that is a way to describe it.
Like I wanted a skin because it was, well, I mean, too, a lot of those like shooter games are like first person.
You can't see your shit.
So you can't even see your own guy. Yeah. And then there are third person ones, but like you're only seeing your guy's butt, like you're seeing it from behind. So like the skins are cool, but then you get to League of Legends where we met, and the skins were like, you could see it was the whole character. You just
and their like, moves, if they
their
had magic,
abilities had a different,
would be different.
Yeah.
All the animations, sometimes different voice lines.
Yeah,
like they put like care and thought into it. It wasn't just like a literal skin. It was like, probably a better description would be like a character upgrade or a character
like
costume.
One that I loved and I had to buy, and I remember I bought this for it was probably the most expensive skin I've ever bought. Was, do you remember Brand in League of Legends?
I do. You stopped playing him, but you did play.
He had a zombie skin.
Oh, Zombie Brand.
And Zombie Brand was a Halloween one, which I realized I'm a sucker for, the Halloween skins. Oh. But Zombie Brand would leave footprints behind him when he walked, these like glowing green footprints. And I was like, yes,
I need that.
Yes, that's cool. Because like no characters didn't leave footprints in the game, but Zombie Brand was leaving footprints, and I was like, I am in for that. So that's like a good example of what you're talking about. Like it just changed it enough to make it like, this is cool.
Yeah. And I had one of my mains in League of Legends was Kayle. I loved playing Kayle. And she had one skin, the Aether Wing. Do you remember that one? It was like robotic, because Kayle was a character. Yeah. She was like an armored female that was wearing like gold, and she had wings. So she kind of had and a big, huge sword. So it was like kind of the avenging angel vibe with her. And Aether Wing Kayle turned her wings into like kind of robot wings, I guess. And like cyberpunky robot wings. And so she was dope. But the skins in League of Legends that I always loved, all my favorite ones weren't. That was like the best skin Kayle had, and I was like, it's okay. The skins that I was obsessed with were Teemo skins. Teemo had the best skins. And when I went back and looked at League of Legends characters, I still stand by that. Teemo is a little Yordle character, so he's like a little fuzzy nugget. He's like a knee-high character, and he was just a troll. Like you couldn't play him competitively. Like no esport tournament in the entire time that I was covering League of Legends in a serious match, nobody ever picked Teemo. There's like, if they did pick him, it was like a troll to like fuck with the opposing team, and you generally lose because he was very weak, but he had a very, very niche skill set. But one of the things that he'd do in his base skin was set poisonous mushrooms that would be hidden, so you wouldn't be able to see them, and then you'd step on them and they would slow you down and poison you over time. And it was always at the most inconvenient time because you were running through a bush to try to escape,
to hide,
and then all of a sudden you step on a mushroom and it's poisoning you, and you're slow and you can't escape, and you're sitting in the bush dying, and
then you step on another one
and you hit another one, and Teemo's across the map doing God knows what, and just annoying everyone. And so like it wasn't a serious character, and really it was just kind of a troll character, but his skins were so fun. The one I loved was Cottontail Teemo, where instead of mushrooms he'd put little because he was an Easter theme, so he'd put little Easter eggs. So you'd see these little Easter eggs like invisibly floating in bushes. Panda Teemo, Super Teemo. Do you remember the Super Teemo one where he's like a superhero? And then there was astronaut Teemo, and then the one that I remember Trent's brother loved because he was a huge Teemo fan was Omega Squad Teemo, where he was like in his like military getup, futuristic military, like he had a full helmet and everything.
Yeah.
But dude, Teemo skins, Teemo like was one of my favorites. He just wasn't viable, so if you played him, people would yell at you. But he was so much
people
fun
hated
to play.
it.
Yeah, people hated to play against him. People hated to play with him. So of course he was my favorite pick.
I had a couple league skins, and I'll go through them relatively quickly. Of course, my go-to was Fiddlesticks, and the first skin I've ever bought in any game my whole life was Pumpkinhead Fiddlesticks.
That's the only one you ever played as.
He only had a couple skins when I was like, I need to buy a skin. He only had a couple, and that was that one and like some other dumb one. And then I had a different, I ended up getting like a birthday party one at some point, which was I liked because it like when you did his ultimate, like he'd bleep in and whatever it's called, like what's it called when you
flash
in, and then like he's casting this like an area of effect all around him that like did damage. When it was like party hat one, he's just like, it's like party, and it's had. Like,
I love the
sound
on that one. And
like
then you
blowing
just
in one
die.
of those things.
You just melt the whole team,
murdering everybody. So like that was a great one, but like Pumpkinhead Fiddlesticks. But one of my favorite themes that they had was like that the like 80s music theme. And if you remember the horse guy Hecarim.
Oh fuck yeah,
he had one
Hecarim.
And he was like all rainbowed out.
Yeah,
he was all rainbowed out, and he did this dash like his old was like this big long run, and it would leave big rainbow trail behind him. One of the things you'll find, and I wrote this in my notes for this, is I love any skin that makes your character seem less tough.
Yes,
is hilarious to me.
All the beach skins.
Skins, yeah, they're just like
you put your character in a swimsuit. Yes,
doesn't matter the character. Like they don't look tough anymore. They just look like they're out to party and like, and that's what those skins did. Hecarim, this big horse, he was a Death Knight horse or something like that.
He's like
he comes running in with like he's got like a mohawk looking mane that was all rainbow colored, and he just like comes screaming in with this like, and it had like synthy sounds,
and his fucking unicorn horn is a rainbow. Dude,
I was like, that's the one.
So sick.
Arcade.
I played that guy.
That's a great one, right?
That one was, I had forgotten that
like
one.
When I think of like skins, I was like, that was a great skin. That was a Peterson skin.
It's just right up your alley.
And the only other one I loved in
and his sword, whatever. Sorry to interrupt. His axe, it had the buttons from Guitar Hero. The Guitar Hero buttons.
Yeah, it was so good.
That's sick. Sorry.
And then one skin, one of my other original skins that I loved was there was a guy named Tarek. He was like a healer. He was and he was like I think he was LGBTQ just by default, like his his lines.
Yeah, he was
like
gay.
That.
No, I think he was actually gay.
And he had a pink skin, and that was the one. You know why I would play that one? Spencer hated it. He hated when he liked tough skins. He liked tough, mean-looking skins.
Yeah,
and then I'd come in with my
gay
Tarek,
boy. And he'd make suggestive comments.
Pink
didn't he?
Tarek, with like hearts and like he's like very suggestive. That was it. Like that was the one. I had to choose that. Those are my skins.
Dude, yeah. Now you're making me think about this. Dude, I couldn't even remember Hecarim. I don't think I have. I think my league count must have gotten shut down because I would be interested to have gone through. And one we did, Peterson and I, before this episode, we went and downloaded Heroes of the Storm just so we could check our skin collection. I found a number of unopened loot boxes, which was nice. But one of my favorite skins I just had a bunch. The main characters I played in League of Legends were Stitches, Li Ming, and Raynor. And Li Ming had some cool skins that were like Olympic skins, where her little like death ball or whatever was a ball. It was either like a soccer ball or a volleyball or whatever. I had a bunch of cool ones there, but the ones that are always my favorite ones were were the Stitches skins. And I had like the Chef Stitches. So Stitches, if you guys aren't familiar with World of Warcraft, is the goriest, grossest looking guy. Just disgusting. He's got his stomach is like ripped open with his ribs. Like it looks like a person after the alien monster ripped chest bursted out of them.
Just like bleh,
but he's like a big fat gross guy. He's got an arm growing out of his back, which is holding
I don't know
a hatchet.
why, but he does.
He's got he's got a big hook on a chain that he throws at people to drag them in, and then he eats them with his open belly. He is repulsive.
He's real gross.
And so the skins that they came up with for this guy were so fucking funny. And there was, like you said, there's like the ones that make him look goofier or weaker. I had all of the beach skins where he had a waist floaty, the ones with like the little the animal head on the front. He had a bunch of those, which are so goofy. And then my favorite was Chef Stitches, where, as an example, the arm growing out of his back was holding a frying pan with eggs in it, and he had a big chef's hat. The HOTS skins, I feel like League of Legends skins would dabble in goofy, and every once in a while they'd have one that was like, what the fuck, that's hilarious. Heroes of the Storm seem to relish in goofy.
Yeah, they would really dive into it.
They're like, you should look like nonsense characters that don't make any sense in the lore exclusively. And so, yeah, and then there was I also played Nazebo, which I loved. He had some really dope skins, but man, the Stitches skins, those are the ones I lived for.
Yeah, HOTS did have some good ones. When I think of the HOTS ones, I played Asmodean, and he had the basketball skin, Asma Dunk. He's just like dribbling a basketball around.
Because he had a move where he would jump down and like dunk on people.
And he would dunk a basketball.
And if you killed them, didn't it reset it? So you could do it like multiple times?
Something like that. I can't remember.
Darius?
But yeah, he would sit there and dunk. And I loved it. It's just so stupid. Again, you're playing these games, you're like these serious characters, and then you're just like, I'm wearing a jersey and I have a basketball, and I'm another like big fat character, right? He's just a big, like big beefy looking dude in his little basketball uniform and dunks on him. The other genre of skin I would say that I enjoy is the skanky version of a skin, like when the character just like is purposefully skanky, and I'm like, okay, I have to get that one. And sometimes they're so hilarious. And like, again, this was the thing I would do to troll a little bit, because it's like not fearsome, right? When they're like running around in a bikini or like a tiny little like a really tight dress, right? But the one that killed me, and I again remember Spencer hating when I used it, is when I was Chromie, and she has this genie skin, but she's essentially in a bikini, in like a Princess Leia.
Oh, and isn't Chromie just a little dwarf character?
Chromie looks like a little kid almost, but they're like, no, she's a dragon, and she's
1,000 years
old, right?
No,
but like her human version is like that, looks like a little kid. And I would wear this Princess Leia genie gold bikini skin, and Spencer hated it.
You're like, and that was like just to troll Spencer.
No, like he would tell me how much he hated that skin, so I bought it just so I could like when we'd queue up, I'd queue up as Chromie, and then he'd see that skin. He's like, "Are you serious right now?" Like I did buy skins just to troll. That was a big piece of what I did, but yeah. Like we have a ton of skins in that game.
Yeah, those are because they just threw those out like candy, because each skin usually had like 4 or 5 variants.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't just get the skin, you'd try to get all the different colors of it.
You get different colors. If you were like using it and getting a certain amount of kills or something like that, unlock the next variant or something like that.
The only other game that I feel like I had a ton of skin experience and a lot of skins in it was Overwatch. And for me, I played a lot of characters in Overwatch that I really liked and had some cool skins. I think I can't remember. I should have downloaded.
I don't remember the Overwatch skins being as great.
No, and it was first person. So to your point, unless you were doing like your ult and it went to third person for your ult, you really didn't see them. I think I had a pretty cool Zarya one, and I think I had a cool Mei skin, but because it changed her wall, how her wall looked. But the ones that I really liked, the ones that I had a lot of fun with, especially because you would see your kills in like replays and stuff, were Junkrat skins. Because I loved Junkrat. He was one of my mains. The Junkrat Scarecrow and Dr. Junkenstein. Those were two
Halloween skins.
Halloween skins, baby. You can't go wrong with that. And Junkrat Scarecrow is dope because his tire that his like main ultimate ability that he like sends a remote control tire to bomb to blow people up. It was like straw. It's like made out of straw.
Yeah.
So fucking sick. That was sick. I like this Junkrat skins. All of his skins were sick though.
And my last little bit is I did play Fortnite with my kids quite a bit, and so I did have a lot of Fortnite skins, like hundreds. And I would just put it on random because I was like, I don't know. But I did have a Kelsier skin in Fortnite from Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series. So
did it look like he looks in your head?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like it looked good. It looked good. The Kelsier skin was good, so I love that. And then whenever we would play Warzone or like those types of games, I would always just go for the stupidest skin that I had, like the stupidest clothing, the stupidest shirt and pants. Like looking.
That's how I did Rocket League. That's how I made my cars in Rocket League. As dumb as possible.
Rocket League, I would like a car and I'd get like a cool skin with it. But I would always have a theme behind mine, and they would always be named. I would name the car because you could save it, as like a preset, and I always had a name and a theme. So like I had a bunch that I was really proud of. So yeah.
Do you have any more?
I think that's it.
That covers like my history of skins, and like I said, it's been years since skins have been something I really cared about in any game I play. The only skins I care about are like my costumes in an RPG or my clothes in an RPG, but those aren't skins.
But like often I don't even care that much because it's just like whatever armor you find, you just like put it on. Like I look so stupid. Some people like I have to go what's it called? Where you like change the way it looks. Now it's gonna bug me. I can't think of it. But you go change the way it looks, but keep the stats, right? And so
transmog.
Thank you.
Now we don't have to have a brain seizure after the episode.
Yeah, I know. I was about to die. So I don't even do transmog. The only times I've done transmog is to make myself look stupid. Like if I look stupid and I get a better thing, I'm like, oh no, I got to transmog it so I keep looking super stupid. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was a good one. Hey, you guys, tell us your favorite skins. We want to know.
Post a picture in our Discord if you can find it.
Your favorite skin. If it's a gun skin, we didn't really talk about those, which is funny because that was kind of the whole point of this.
I don't even use those a lot though. Like I don't care about that as much.
Yeah. So there you go.
Dice of Destiny.
Alrighty, Rue. Dice of Destiny is this game we play at the end of every episode. 20-sided dice, 20 different game genres, 6-sided dice, 6 different categories of money. I don't know how much you can spend on it. Budgets. 6 budget tiers.
6 numbers.
That's what I get for going off script.
Money.
6 different money numbers. Last couple weeks ago, maybe last week, I don't know. I rolled a building game for $30. I selected Grounded 2, and I'm not done yet. Peterson and I have played it for a couple nights here. We've enjoyed it. We've been enjoying it. I feel like I want to play it a little bit longer. These building survival games are generally kind of longer, a little involved. And
there's like a build up to it.
Yeah.
So you're like unlocking stuff, and we're very much still in the early unlocking stage.
Yes,
and so
we're seeing all the cool stuff that's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I want to get at least wade into that cool stuff before I give a review. I will say tentatively, I love the game so far. I would say it's definitely a noticeable improvement over 1, but I played 1 in early access. This is in early access as well, to be sure.
So I played 1, the
Full release,
1.0, yeah.
Yeah.
And this feels like that, just more.
Yeah.
And they did take some feedback and made things a little bit better, maybe easier and things like that. But it definitely feels like the same game. It's not like they revamped Grounded. This is definitely Grounded at its core. And then they've just made so far positive changes. There's been a couple like bugs and things like that.
Nice.
There's been a couple bugs and like glitches, but like that hasn't been that big of a deal to me. I feel like this is Grounded plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is very good.
They've added mounts. I don't know. They didn't have those in the first one, right?
No.
So mounts are huge, and I would say I feel like I'm pretty experienced in the building front on these types of games, and the building's clean. Oh, the building is good. Sometimes it's kind of arduous. Sometimes the pieces when you start to build, they like fight you, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I have to fight this. Pal World definitely struggled. There were definitely some inadequacies in the Pal World building.
Yeah.
But this one does not have that. This one obviously has years and years and years of experience that they're building on. And they've done a good job of the building mechanics. Yep. I don't know about you, but I think the combat's better than the one I played. When I played, it was like you kind of avoided combat. It was kind of like Valheim combat, where it was like you're just swinging randomly.
It feels similar to,
but the parry
Grounded
and the blocking in this
that
is really nice.
Better. Yeah,
and I think it's really improved. So I'll have a full review next week after we plug some more hours into this. But yeah, Grounded 2 so far is awesome, and I'm really enjoying it.
Good.
Alrighty, that's it. We did it. Longy to make up for some shorties. A lot of news this week. To play us out, we've got the music from CSGO 2. This is the music you play when you're trying not to hurt yourself because you've lost your life savings.
Because you lost everything. Yeah. What am I supposed to do now? This is my retirement plan. I was gonna sell my CSGO skins.
I don't need to get a job, Mom. This is my job.
Have you seen this gold knife that I have? Dude, the price of it is going up.
It's worth more than your car, Mom.
Not anymore. You can just earn it by playing a dozen games.
Anyways, go get a job again. Sorry, Jeremy. Sorry about your car. This is JD logging off.
And this is Peterson going AFK.